What's up, guys? This is Bull by the Fell-Handed. There is going to be a little Ram Panzer footage here for you, signifying the re-release of this vehicle back into the wild. Yes, that's correct. You can purchase the Panzer 5.4 in the upcoming weeks. Look for that in your store coming soon. Also, guys, at this time I would like to mention thank you for everyone getting me to hit 7 weeks of Battle Heroes on the World of Tanks console website. I've been up there for 7 weeks and I haven't really been posting my videos, but about that long or slightly longer. So guys, I really appreciate it. I don't know how they decide who gets up there, but at any rate, thank you. Moving on. Now, I am in a tier 5 game. At some point I decide to switch to APCR for a hard target, and this is one of those rare instances in which I forget that I am running APCR, and I run it more or less the entire rest of the match. I have really been trying to wean myself off APCR. Granted, of course, you know, you could always say, well, you know, at distances, you know, the pin's not even guaranteed, it's iffy, blah blah blah, what have you. Of course you're never guaranteed a penetration, but moving on, I ended up switching to this and I just pretty much kept it going for the rest of the game. So as you can see here, I switched back and forth from AP to APCR, and I'm in a really good position here. I'm not really risking anything, and the reason I'm here instead of pushing the mid like I should be is there are enough people pushing the mid that I can afford to do this, that this position is afforded me. So I feel pretty confident in the fact of my ability to farm damage, although the downside is you have to be extremely cautious because there's so many people in the back on a higher elevation. You may think you have hold down from the reds in the middle, but the reds in the very back corner there, you may not in fact be hold down from. That's more or less the common thing that happens when any tank pokes the middle and gets nailed. Sure, you've got great hold down from the guy 20 meters ahead of you on the other side of the hill, but someone equal distance or higher, you don't have very much cover at all. So guys, just keep that in mind. Not that I'm saying this particular situation comes up, but I have been wanting to go over that scenario for quite some time and just kind of demonstrate. I've even been wanting to go so far as to make a training video. Speaking of training videos, also guys, the weak spot guide to the E100 will be coming soon. Kind of fell a little bit behind on that. It was supposed to come out last week. Hopefully it'll come out this week. We'll see what's happening. So moving on, we're still in a really good position. We haven't even moved. There are numerous reds all through the area here. I have a TD directly to my, I don't know, let's say 1:32 o'clock there, and we're putting some rounds on him. And at this point I think I had somehow switched to APCR, and I just said, you know what, let's just keep going. And the pins just keep racking in and I just keep firing. And you know, there's nothing wrong with that. Sure, you're gonna lose some money, but at the same time you're doing an incredible amount of damage for a tier 5 tank that does not typically do an incredible amount of damage. Now, you know, yes, if you were in a tank destroyer, maybe if you had a really good game in a tank destroyer, they'd say, okay, yes, fantastic, you did X amount of damage, that's awesome, that's kind of expected of you. But you know, you do it in a medium, it's a whole different story. Now, as you can see, the reds are moving up on my position. I am spotted right now, and I am trying to get out of here as fast as I can. And as soon as I move up, I hit the plane and then immediately bounce around off the back of my turret. How? I don't know. Taking a few rounds here, not really crazy about it. Kind of trying to swerve, because when you're going directly away from the enemy, it's very easy for you to get get shot, especially if you're giving the enemy your rear end. I decide there's not a whole lot I can do, so let's go ahead and go out in a blaze of glory. There's 3 of us versus, I don't know, lots of them. So I decide to come in here and square off against this Japanese heavy and see if I just can't maybe perhaps send him back to the garage. I don't know whether he missed or I bounced. I wasn't really paying attention. At this point, it doesn't really matter. I am still beset on all sides by enemies. I'm going to try to sneak around in there, end up hitting the viewport. No help there. Fix the rack, turn around. At this point, it's all about target identification. Who is going to die next? What are we doing here? What's going on? I've got a guy here giving me perfect side shots. I put one last round in, and then I get completely obliterated. No help from the greens, of course. Guys, never expect any help from the greens. If you do, you will be disappointed. And that's just the bottom line. You cannot depend on the greens for help, although you can depend on the greens to be greens, if that makes any sense. We have someone who, it looks like he almost turned a complete 90-degree to the enemy on purpose, or perhaps he just wasn't aware of what's going on. Either way, I'm not here to judge individuals' playstyle. If that is how he does business, that's fine. We have one remaining tank left, and very shortly we will all be sent back to the garage in shame. We will hang our head in defeat. It looks like the remaining tank on our team is posted up there at K1, and he does not want to give up any ground, and I don't blame him one bit. You want me, you have to come get me. And that's kind of what it boils down to, guys. If somebody's coming after you, if you have a team coming after you, never give any freebies. Never just drive in the water. Never point your gun barrel up. Always fight. Never give up. Because you know what? It doesn't take anything else if you do decide to fight. So that is the game, guys. We lost that one. Yes, we did, in fact. But at the same time, I had a very decent game. We lost a considerable amount of money, but we did 2155 with 616 assists. So right around 2700 for a tier 5.